Hi, it's Mark. I'm here with Bernie Pawlik, Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver, Vancouver's best auto service experience. And we're talking cars. How you doing, Bernie?
Doing very well today.
So today's guest is a 2014 Ram ProMaster 2500. What was going on with this vehicle?
So this vehicle had some pretty severe tapping noise in the engine. Did some diagnosis. I was definitely coming from the rear cylinder bank, probably a camshaft or rocker arm issue, we figured, which is common on these vehicles. This vehicle had over 200,000 kilometers, but we see it at much lower mileages. So it's a fairly common issue in a lot of these vehicles.
So which engine is this?
It's a 3.6 liter Pentastar. Very common, I'll say Chrysler, but I guess it's a Stellantis. Now Chrysler's kind of disappeared, but I'll still call it a Chrysler engine. Found in Jeeps, Dodge products, Rams, all over the place.
And vans, trucks.
Vans, trucks, I don't know, maybe cars too. I'm not sure. Probably cars too. I don't see too many Dodge cars.
What are we looking at here?
So we're looking at the front cylinder bank. So of course, after we diagnosed it, we estimated it out before we pulled it apart. The cams, rocker arms, lifters would need to be replaced, possibly the timing chains as well. So we sent the customer an estimate, they approved it, and we went ahead and ordered the parts because before we take it apart, we knew what we would find based on experience. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at the front cylinder bank. It's a V6 engine, transverse mounted. So this is not an easy job to work on. The timing cover sits right next to the side frame rails of the engine, so that it's finicky to get stuff in and out. But once you get everything removed, it's not too bad to work on, but there's a lot to take off. Anyways, here we're looking at the front cylinder bank. There's two camshafts. You can see the timing chain on the left side and the cam gears. Spark plug tubes sit in the middle. Those are those round bits. We did change the spark plugs while we did the service as well. So here's the really badly worn cam. If you take a look at where the green arrow is pointing, you can see the thickness of that camshaft lobe. And if you look to your right, you'll see that one on the right's a lot fatter. Well, the one on the left used to look like the one on the right, but as things wore down, the rocker arms, it's a roller rocker, it seized up and started wearing the cam in a pretty bad way. So this has been going on for a while in this engine, hard to know how long. Here's an example of rocker arms. If you look at the one on the right, the piece in the middle is the roller. And so it's actually a roller bearing that runs on the camshaft lobe to reduce friction. But if you look at the one on the left, you see it's kind of sitting in a weird spot. And where those arrows are pointing, you see some ground down metal. That's what was rubbing against the camshaft and basically ground down half the camshaft.
This is what's gone. These little edges aren't supposed to be
those
there.
edges, yeah. That cam wasn't built like that. It was meant to be fat. So anyways. That's what's worn down. The roller basically just turns back and forth, but it's completely worn out. I mean, the next step of this thing, if it went much longer, this rocker arm would just pop out and possibly cause the engine to seize up. So it's good the owner did this when he did. It didn't wait much longer. Here we have a brand new camshaft, and you can see the lobe on this one is very nice. They're egg-shaped. I remember engine shop I used to work out, I used to call it the egg stick. There's the 4 new camshafts that are going into the engine. So although one was severely worn, all the other ones were starting to show signs of wear. There was pitting on the cam lobes in various spots. And, you know, if someone wanted to go really cheap and go, well, let's just replace the one cam and the rocker arms and that one. But, you know, for the amount of labor involved in taking everything apart, it's hardly worth doing that. Either you commit to doing the job fully or you don't do it at all.
So are these aftermarket cams?
No, these are OEM cams. So I will say that this is not a cheap job. The parts are all Mopar original parts that we put in. I actually looked on Amazon. You can actually buy complete kits of cams, lifters, rocker arms, the whole 9 yards for actually a pretty cheap amount of money, but we wouldn't use them in our shop. I just don't trust them. The last thing you want is to use cheap, crappy parts. And who knows, they might last for as long as these ones did, but I wouldn't trust it.
And what are we looking at here?
So here we're looking at the timing chains, looking from the bottom of the engine. The thing that's sort of protruding at the bottom right of the picture, that's the crankshaft. And there's actually 4 timing chains in this vehicle. The one that goes downward drives the oil pump. And then there's one that goes up with a little, you can see sort of a clearish, whitish plastic piece. That's a tensioner. That drives from the camshaft to an intermediate shaft. And then there's 2 chains that go up from there to the top of the engine where the cams are.
For each bank.
Yeah. And so we did change the timing chains as well. They were stretched, which is expectable for the mileage on the vehicle. And, you know, had we not done it and put it back together, chances are Some point in the near future, we'd probably be pulling this all back apart again to do timing chains. You can actually change cams on these without taking the timing chains off. There are ways to do it from the top. We have tools and there are ways to do it, but it's better to spend the time and money and do the job properly, and it'll be much more durable.
So after repair, how was the vehicle running?
Oh, it's good. Beautiful. Nice and quiet.
When we were talking earlier, you mentioned you guys service quite a few of these or repair quite a few of these engines.
Yeah. Typically the same thing on a lot of them. The camshaft lifter problems, very common.
So how are these vehicles for reliability? What's the solution to that issue, perhaps?
Well, I'm not sure what the long-term solution. I mean, I think these engines do have other problems, like the oil cooler housings will leak oil, which is not nearly as expensive a job as this, but that's kind of an inherent problem. And some of them over the past have had head gasket problems, many covered under warranty. The solution, change your oil regularly. This engine didn't look like it had been neglected, but it's hard to know. Regular oil changes are just critical in modern engines. We've stretched the oil change intervals out a lot. There's way better oil technology than there used to be, but you still need to change it regularly and do it even more than the manufacturer recommends. It'll save you money in the long run.
If you're looking for service for your Dodge engine that's got a Pentastar gasoline V6, the guys to see in Vancouver at Pawlik Automotive. You can reach them online at pawlikautomotive.com. You can book your appointment right there. And if you're really not that sleepy, you can watch many of our almost 1,000 videos of repairs of many types of vehicles, engines, brakes, you name it, every part of the vehicle. Thanks so much for watching and listening. You can also call and book at 604-327-7112 to book your appointment at Pawlik Automotive. You have to book ahead. They're always busy. Thanks again for watching and listening. Thanks, Bernie.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it.